Welcome down the Weeboo hole. Today is a great day for both of us because we can finally talk about an anime we've been waiting to talk about for a long time, and that is Fairy Tail. No, it is Food Wars. I forget the Japanese title.
Shokugeki no Soma, and this is the food meets hentai anime.
Ecchi. It's ecchi.
Yeah, it's ecchi. It's not
hentai.
Call it what it is. No, but a lot of people say it's food hentai.
Who?
Just people on the internet. You
yeah,
know,
they don't know
4chans
anything.
and whatnots. Anyway, we're talking about one of what's become one of my favorite series.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
It's definitely up there now. I was hesitant to watch it for so long because although I had heard good things about it, I couldn't find myself enjoying anything just food related, right? Because you have this tendency of like sort of gravitating toward regular shonen, and like it has to be set in a genre, and you don't feel like something that the focus is so hard on food could be so entertaining. But oh boy, was I wrong!
Yeah, I was.
Holy crap!
My biggest fear was getting hungry while watching it, and my fears were real.
Yeah, and I wanted to make everything that I saw.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I'm going to become a chef after watching this.
Our buddy Colton did it. He actually made one of the dishes.
That's awesome.
I haven't done that up until now. Not yet, but I will at some point. Try one of these recipes. Because one of them must be good, right?
They look all amazing.
Yeah, they're not just spewing random bullshit out of their mouth. I'm sure they do a little bit of research before.
Yeah.
Or at least the writer does. But yeah, so if you guys have watched Food Wars, and if you're caught up to it, then welcome, and you know how awesome this anime is already. Yep. And we're just going to be going over it a little bit, summarizing in brief detail the parts that we're going to be covering today, which are only season 1 and 2.
Yeah, first and second plate.
Yeah, and if you have not watched Food Wars yet, I highly advise
get
that you
on
do.
it.
Obviously, if you don't intend on it and you still want to watch our video and continue on from this point, be aware that there are spoilers ahead.
Big
we will
ones.
be talking about very important things that happen during the course of the show. So I think we just jump right into it. What do you want to cover first as far as topics go?
Well, we have to go through summary.
All right, so let's do that.
Small one. You're the summary guy.
I'm the summary guy.
You always are.
So we start with the main character who we're introduced to, Soma, and his dad, Joichiro, and their last name is Yukihira. Actually, no. Joichiro's last name is not Yukihira, technically.
You find that later on.
Yeah, but as to why. But Soma's is, and they're cooking together, and they're doing a little competition between each other to see whose is better. And ultimately, Soma ends up losing. They get a taste tester, and the taste tester chooses...
What is it, his 495th loss or something?
Yeah, it's like really high up there. He's lost almost 500 times to his dad. But he keeps trying. He's unrelenting, and this is a very important character trait that we see come up time and time again in the anime, and it's foreshadowed very early on that he's very persistent by that large tally, right? So
it shows right away that no matter how many times he loses, he'll always get back up and try again.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a quitter.
Yep. And so
little thing I want to put in is that I love their quirk that they both love to make disgusting food.
Yes.
That is
so awesome.
It's like, a hilarious
they make great dishes, and then all of a sudden they'll randomly put out a really disgusting looking thing, we'll call it,
and they still try to
somebody.
And they try to best each other in that aspect as well. Who can make the most disgusting dish as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
Anyway, first episode, that happens right at the beginning, and so we're introduced to two very important characters early on. During the episode, they work in a diner, right? It's a family diner, and big business tries to come in and tear them down.
Yeah, big business. We don't like them.
Yeah, they destroyed the outside of the shop.
Yeah.
They come by the next day, and Soma's like, screw you guys, I'm gonna show you as to why we belong here and why we shouldn't be kicked out of this area.
Yeah.
The people love our food for a reason, so he makes a dish, and he makes it for the head honcho, the woman who's trying to tear them down.
Yeah.
She eats it, loves it, and this is where we get the first glance of, well, it might be earlier in the episode, but of the clothes tearing off.
Yeah,
and the
I think his friend first gets her clothes ripped off. Yeah, I think so.
Off. Exactly. And the tentacles because of the squid, right?
Oh, yes, true.
So yeah, that's that happens.
Okay,
they decide not to tear down the place, but while this is happening, Soma's dad goes off somewhere to help an old friend. to work at his restaurant.
And that's pretty much episode 1, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about it?
No, hold on. There's an ending to episode 1. Soma receives a letter from his dad who's gone off to New York, as we find out later. And he reads the letter, and the letter says that he signed him up for chef's school, right? Yeah. What's the name of the school?
I don't remember.
All right, so we figured out the name of the school. It is Totsuki Academy.
I was close.
Yeah, so
I knew it started with T.
You were, but he ends up at right in front of this building, and it's this massive campus that just has so many buildings.
That's episode 2, isn't it?
No, that's at the end of episode 1. He sees it for the first time. Yeah, that right away we're introduced to the school. So we get the feeling of, okay, well, it's going to be a high school anime right off the bat. So, okay, cool. So, next episode, he gets there.
1 second. Let's talk about the first episode. Did it sell you on the anime?
No.
Me too. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, because they had to start it slow.
Yeah,
I liked that they started it slow. And we're only introduced to the main character, who right off the bat I liked. Me too. I didn't hate him. I wasn't like, okay, I really don't like this main character. But I'm like, I need to see more. I knew right away that I needed to see more of the anime. And I needed to meet more characters, because we're only introduced to 2 main characters, essentially. And we know that he's going off to a school where his friend from the first episode is not going to be attending. So we're going to be introduced to a lot of new people in the coming episodes. So I'm like, okay, let's get a feel for all of the characters first, and then I'll decide whether or not I like it. So yeah, that's the feeling I got.
Yeah, same. I thought it was a good establishment looking back. Yeah. Like to make him as a character and to look at him and see him as a character. They just focused on him, not too many things. It was good, but it was kind of boring.
Yeah. I will say that the very first episode is not super enticing, but I'm glad that I watched it with somebody and got to the second episode. And that's when I really realized that it was
Me
good.
Too.
Because what happens right away in the second episode is he gets there. He's like, okay, well, how do I sign up? A bunch of people at the front are getting like kicked out and stuff, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? And then he waltzes into the place, and he ends up in a room with Erina and Hisako. And
a bunch of other chefs.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh yeah, I can make you like the best meal you've ever had. Yeah. And once again, he does the same thing that he did in episode 1, so I'm like, okay, so this is going to be a recurring theme, obviously. The name of the anime is Food Wars. Then you see Erina's reaction to what he makes. What I really like about the anime is how when a dish is made, once it's eaten, they explain the components and how they did it.
It gets so intense.
Yeah, how they did it to make it taste so good.
I'm
just always so interested.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, how? I would never know any of this at all. I'm like the worst person at cooking.
Yeah, and Erina, right off the bat, when she eats his chicken that's like dissolving.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, the rice. It looks like such a basic plate, and he makes it taste amazing. And she's like freaking out, but she's like, "It's the worst thing I've ever had." I was like, "Oh, she's a tsundere." Okay. Right away. Like, all right, so she's gonna be cold at the beginning. That's for sure. And then Hisako, her secretary, seems to like follow her around and back her up with everything.
Yeah,
so
no
we're introduced to 2 very strong female characters right away, and that's a large part of what got me hooked. I was like, oh, okay, there's really good female characters in this anime. Right. And when I looked up the voice actors,
dubbed.
Yeah, but when I was starting to...
We watched this dubbed. We watched the last season subbed.
Because it's not dubbed.
Yeah.
But when I looked up the voice actors, specifically I was looking for Erina's, because I was like, is this somebody that I know that's just doing like a weird voice? But it's not. It's not. But when I was looking up the voice actors, I saw that 3 of the main characters, the only 3 main characters listed on behind the voice actors, 2 of them were female, and the other one was Soma. So I was like, oh, okay, so what, is it harem now?
Okay.
But it turns out not to be, which I was like, thank goodness.
Yeah, me too.
It's not. It's just got a lot of really strong female characters, which is something that I was really impressed by, and we get that right away in episode 2. Yeah. So I feel super happy about that.
We can just get into that right now. I think they've got a good summary.
Yeah.
So
it's just the first 2 episodes. Now go and watch it.
Yeah. Now if you're not sold now, well, just go watch it.
Yeah.
But females in this anime, great. They've done a fantastic job. I feel like a problem with most shonen anime.
Yeah.
It's fighting.
Yeah.
And you can't really show women getting beaten up by men.
Well, you can.
You can, but then people will be like, oh, it's not. It's a bad taste, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But this is like old. I'm talking about old shonen.
Okay, yeah.
In recent years, things have been changing. We saw them with Fairy Tail.
Hello?
Fairy Tail.
My Hero Academia?
Yeah,
Uraraka versus Bakugo?
Yeah, exactly.
Intense fight.
Exactly.
Sick fight.
It's starting to change, and I'm happy about that because I do not want that stigma of just it can only be men versus men or women versus women. I like this.
That's so stupid.
The fighting of sexes. It's great.
Yeah. I want to see strong females kicking ass, you know, like
taking
Urza.
names. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but obviously this isn't a battle anime.
Yeah.
But well, it is a battle anime, but it's not a shonen like actual fist fight anime. It's based with food, right? They're fighting battles with food, and a Shokugeki is a food war. It's a war that's in the title of the anime. And basically what happens throughout the series, if you don't already know, is that anybody can challenge anybody else at the school to a food war, and they can put whatever stakes on the line.
Yeah.
And
stakes have to be equal, though.
Yeah, and so do pork chops. And sorry, I had to make that pun. I heard steaks, and I was like, "We're talking food." But there are 3 judges.
You're fired.
They judge the 2 participants, or however many, as we find out later, participants' dishes. And whichever one gets the most votes from the judges wins the food war, and then subsequently whatever stakes were put on the line have to be met, right?
Yeah.
And the food war has to be approved by the Council of 10, who were introduced to as a concept in episode 4, and it also has to be approved by the general school, I believe. So there's another entity that has to approve of the food war. They have to give consent for it to go through. So
what do you think of Food Wars?
What do you mean?
As a concept?
As a concept, it's really cool.
I love it.
I was like, there's no way. This is actually so awesome.
It is. It's so entertaining to watch because it's like a mini tournament like every time.
We get a glimpse of the first one when Erina takes on, it's like in the same 3 episodes, right? It's 3 subsequent episodes. Erina takes on the leader of a club, beats him, shuts down the club. She's like wiping out clubs. Yeah. Because she's a member of the Council of 10, by the way. She's an extremely good cook, and she's also known as the God Tongue. And, and like she's got one of the best palates in the world and can identify good food from bad, and she's just like praised by many. And she's taking down all these clubs, and then you got Soma who steps in and he's like, okay, well, let me take on one of her lackeys. And make it so that that bowl club doesn't get shut down because he happens to walk in a bowl club.
Just walks in one day.
And his stakes for the battle are if you lose the food war, you have to join bowl club. And it was awesome. And he wins, and you're just like, that's awesome. Now hilarious. We have a character who's just always in bowl club. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, okay, she's gonna be discarded as a character.
No, she's in it.
She's always there. Always. Meet. Gotta love meet. So yeah, I really like the concept of Food Wars, especially how many different things they can do with it and how they've used it throughout the show. Because you have Soma who challenges Kojiro at some point, right, in the first season to a food war because he's about to fail and expel Megami. Yeah. And he's like, I'm not fucking having this. I'm challenging you to a food war, whether you're an alumni or you're actually still in school. If you've already graduated, I don't give a crap. We're having this food war. It ends up being Megami who has it with him as an assistant.
That was crazy. That was a cool twist. It was like
they can do anything they want, right? So and then obviously we're gonna talk about season 3 and season 4 after. But
Jordan cried during this part.
What part?
Didn't you cry when Megami was gonna get expelled?
No, I was just really upset. I was like, no, screw you, dude. No,
I was like, she's fine.
She ain't getting expelled. I was like, someone's gonna step in. I was like, you go, Soma. I was so happy. I love this character.
Me too.
Such an awesome character.
He's very, he's just awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, all this to say
charismatic and like, you just root for him. He's like a shonen protagonist, but for food, it's great.
He's just awesome. He's what we call an overdog, right? Yeah. Not
Megami would be the underdog in the series. Yeah, now she's like fucking awesome.
Yeah, but she's still always an underdog. Somehow they always put her below who she's against. Right? Yeah, like even in the fall selection, you see her cutting up the monkfish, and everybody's like, "What the hell is she doing?"
So good, so
good. There's no time for that. Like,
and then after she wins, everyone's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, freaking out.
And I'm like, "That's her girl."
Yeah. But yeah, all this to say that the female cast is absolutely incredible. Because
they're all entertaining.
Yeah, they're all entertaining. They all stand on their own 2 feet. They support the main characters super well. Yeah. Everybody at Kyokusei at the dorm is awesome. except for the pink-haired chick, because I can never remember her name.
She's mostly meant for breasts.
Yeah.
That's her point.
Erina's awesome. Her character experiences tons of growth throughout the series.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite character.
Yeah, Hisako's cool. Her secretary, Meat's awesome.
Lucy Christian's character's hilarious.
Yeah, Yuki's awesome. The one that's like always using like wild game.
Yeah,
she's sick. There's a massive, great female cast. Like even the Elite 10. One of like my favorite members of the Elite 10 is the chick with the fangs. Or whatever.
She's one of my favorite characters.
She's sick.
The red hair, yeah, she's hilarious. Oh,
I can't wait to see who does her dubbed as well.
Yeah,
because we don't know her yet.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a female cast. Awesome.
You forgot your favorite, man. Alice.
Of course, Alice Nakiri, my favorite female character from the show, tied with Megami. She's up there. But Alice is just everybody loves
Alice. Love her cooking style. It's so crazy.
It's so sick to see her use technology
and like scientific.
Like the first glimpse you get of it is the eggs.
And you're like, okay, it's eggs.
Yeah, they're doing the buffet, and then none of them are actually eggs, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it's so good.
Who is this girl? And then you find out she's related to Erina.
And during the fall selection, where she's like the first challenger that he has to fight, you're like, this is awesome.
Opening episode, you're like, Soma versus Alice. I'm like, no, you can't do this to me. It's too much. We've been waiting. We've been anticipating this fight, right? And then plot twist: Alice isn't the better of the two of her little posse. So yeah, that's.
Well, they have different strengths and weaknesses.
I would say Rio's still stronger. He's way stronger, dude. But yeah, anyway, after that we have we've already covered the female cast. We covered the Food Wars as a concept. Next up, we're gonna jump into the fall selection, which we were just talking about. So once they get back from their training camp, which is a training camp from hell. And pretty much everybody survives. Megumi was the only one that was like seriously in danger of failing. Yeah. Which was resolved by the food ward that she had, which she technically lost. But Gin Dojima steps in and he's like, good guy Dojima. Yeah. He's like, Kojiro, tell me this doesn't taste like food from back home. Yeah. And then he has that flashback with his mom
and you hear his like
cry.
Country accent.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on?
Mom. Yeah, so anyway, they get back from the camp, and it's Erina who tells Soma in the car as they're coming back. Oh yeah, they get stuck in the car together.
Yeah, Soma misses the bus.
This is such a relationship building. Yeah. Like they're doing a really good job at building their relationship between Soma and Erina, which I really, really like.
Me too.
I like the way that they're doing that. But she tells him about the fall selection. She's just like, "You're such an idiot. You don't even know what the fall selection is."
Yeah, exactly like that.
Exactly like that.
I hate her dub voice.
I know her sub voice is a lot better. I liked it at first. I liked her dub voice at first.
So did I, and then until I heard the sub voice, and I'm like, "This."
Because I thought her sub voice sounded too old at first, and I thought that her dub voice actually sounded like a high school girl a lot more, but her dub voice is more annoying than anything at the end of the day. Anyway, not talking about voices because people watch different, either watch sub or dub. But we find out about the fall selection, and it's this. It's basically a competition to see who gets into the Council of 10, right? Yeah. So that's what they're doing. Is they're it's all the chefs at the school are competing.
Is it Council of 10? I thought it was just for like people to like see them.
No. It's also to get a spot on the Council of 10 once one opens up, right? So, but I don't know what actually ends up happening with Akira and why he doesn't like take a seat or whatever. But I believe the process was to select the number one would get a spot on the Council of 10, or anybody that impressed them, essentially. So. This huge competition is about to start.
Yeah, like right away, second season.
It's massive Food Wars, and it's no longer 3 judges; it's like 5 at the table, and you're like, "What?" It's crazy, and it's still first season. It's the end of the first season.
End of the first season.
Yeah, they start this
tournament.
Tournament starts immediately, and so we're introduced to a couple of new characters. Rio we already knew, but he starts to actually, like, we get a little bit of character development with him, and then Akira comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, who the hell is this guy?
Guy's I love him too.
Akira's sick.
He is.
He's so
Spice
sick.
Lord.
Spice Master Akira and June Shiomi. And so Soma meets this guy because they have to make, what was it? Ramen or curry. They have to make curry in the preliminaries. Yeah. And Soma looks around. He's looking for help around the school, and he finds out that there's one guy called Akira who knows a lot about curry and spices in general and stuff. And so he goes to see him, and he's blown away by what he sees from Akira, and
it's
you're
nuts.
right away you're like, okay, this guy is really strong
because he can smell like really strong at cooking. That's that's the best part about this.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's just like really, really good at cooking, and he's got an incredible nose. He can tell, he can be blindfolded and he can tell like in sequence what spices are in front of him on a table. He's got a crazy nose. So he meets this guy, and you can already tell that like he's gonna be in the finals with Soma. Like, you know it's coming.
That's what we thought the finals were gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they throw the wrench in, and you're like,
hold on. So season 2 starts, like we said right away, Soma versus Alice, which was insane. You're just not expecting it. And then you get Takumi versus the dude that takes his Mezzaluna.
Yeah.
Who we meet like
we forgot
before.
to talk about Aldini, the Aldini
brothers.
brothers.
The Aldini brothers, yeah, his rival.
His like kind of rival, but like
really.
best friend. I love that type of character who like thinks they're the rival. But
we're talking about the female characters, but the male characters are really good too.
They're awesome as well.
Takumi and Isumi are awesome.
Zenji.
Zenji's
exactly. My favorite character.
Ishki's awesome. Yeah. You got Sho as well. Everybody in the dorm is just sick.
Yeah, they are.
Except for the pink hair chick, because she doesn't do anything. I'm just saying.
She does and she doesn't.
Yeah, I think Sakaki is her name in Japanese. Like when it's
look, she's eye candy. That's her point.
Yeah, that's literally it.
And she does some stuff later on in other seasons.
Yeah,
she does have her competition.
Takumi loses his Mezzaluna, right?
Yeah.
And then
I love that guy, the doppelganger guy.
Yeah,
he's great. I was trying to find him, but I couldn't find him on the list.
Megumi loses to Rio.
Yeah.
And it was pretty close. But Rio won. They had he was trying to intimidate her with his like, what do you think? Like, he gets like his super form when he puts on his bandana.
Okay.
Just like
straight
Soma.
up, I hate his voice when he does the super form.
I love it.
I hate it. It sounds
so over the top.
It sounds so forced. It
does, but it's so over the top that it becomes good.
No, not for me. I can't. Stand
and he's
it.
like trying to intimidate this little blue-haired girl, and she's just like, "No, I'm standing my ground."
They make fish, don't they?
Yeah, they make fish.
Yeah.
And then it's who's the last one? Alice versus Soma. It's Akira versus somebody.
Oh, it's her chef.
What?
The chef. What's
Hisako.
Name? Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's.
I can't remember.
So Rio wins. Akira wins. Soma wins against Alice.
Yeah. Which
I was so happy about. I was like, thank God he knew what he was doing. And they made bento boxes. I remember that.
Yes,
this was
it
better.
was. Yes.
And then who's the dude that beat Takumi? What's his name?
I forget his name. His name is Doppelganger.
His name is literally Doppelganger. So Soma ends up taking him on, and then
that guy is hilarious. Yeah. When he goes to the later on,
and then Rio ends up taking on Akira. Plot twist.
They're both
tie.
Yeah, they have a tie.
They have a draw, and it ends up being a 3-way final. Neither of them was happy about it. Akira and Rio were both pissed off.
And someone's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Someone's like, "Whatever, we'll have a 3-way final." So they end up having their first 3-way final in the fall selection, and this time a winner is actually decided, and it's not Soma, but Akira ends up winning. So I like that.
Me too. I'm a big fan of that.
At some point, Soma has to lose. He's been the overdog the entire time, right? He's
only lost against his dad twice.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we've seen, right? Every other time he's won. And he's
like, where's the growth, bro?
Yeah, he's been put into situations where he can't actually be the one who wins or loses. I think he would have lost against Kojiro, but he wasn't the one cooking. It was Megumi, and he was the assistant. But we hadn't actually seen him lose, right? He's been bailed out of every situation, and then he ends up losing the fall selection. Mm-hmm. So, but I think he got second. He finished second.
No, it's never said.
It went Rio, Soma, Akira.
No, because Rio and Soma always have a fight. They're like, who was the one who got second? Who's the one who got third?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I totally won second, bro. Yeah, okay, I got you. So, yeah, Akira wins. Like we said, we love that. I love that.
It reminds me of Dragon Ball. I was saying this to Jordan before. When Tien beats Goku in Season 3. Yeah. It reminds me of that. Yeah. And it just shows that, like, we need to grow. This is so shonen. This is, like, the most shonen you can get.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's food. It's food, and they made it work. Yeah. I can't believe it works so well.
Yeah, and then everybody...
it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, and everybody who got past the preliminaries in the fall selection, so the top 8 essentially, go and do a stagiaire.
Yeah.
Stage in French. We have that here in Quebec, actually. That's the word we use for it. And so they go and work with different chefs, and Soma ends up going to work with Kojiro.
No, before that, he's with the other girl.
With Hisako, yeah, but I mean, ultimately he ends up with Kojiro,
Yeah.
and he works with him, and he gains a lot of skill.
Crazy skill, man.
Yeah, and this is
training with Roshi level.
Yeah, this is actually the end of season 2.
Yeah.
If by chance anybody who's watching is at this point in the series and you just finished the Stagiaire and you haven't started season 3 yet, I highly recommend, or is it season...
No, it's this one. It's this.
It's this? It's between, right? I highly recommend going to watch the OVA. Episode 4 specifically. You can watch the whole OVA. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. But specifically episode 4, before you jump into season 3, go and watch that OVA episode.
It's so thankful.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. I told Jake to do this because...
It fills in the gap.
Yeah, because without it, you'd be like, who the hell are these people?
There's like 10 new people, 9 new people.
Yeah,
and
and
eight new people.
Eight
New
like
people.
8 new people all of a sudden. You're like, who are these guys? And then you're just like, oh shit! When did the big reveal happen?
Yeah, exactly.
And you miss out on it. So it's definitely you're definitely gonna want to watch OVA episode 4 before you jump into season 3. If you haven't watched the series yet, then do it anyway. Just heed our warning. But yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to talk about in terms of the story. We're only going to cover season 1 and 2. We're going to do season 3 and 4 after, because a lot of crap goes down.
A lot of crazy stuff.
A lot of shit goes
A
down.
lot of cool things.
What else is there?
We got the soundtrack, which is...
Oh my god!
Phenomenal.
I swear to god, there's a song on the soundtrack, and I'm about to find it right now, because it's in my top plays on my phone.
You just listen to it over and over again?
Yes. Playlist most
Is
played.
it the OST?
It's called The Texture of Food, or the Texture of something. It's this. You'll hear it right now.
I could have just played it in the background, Jordan.
You can. Or you can stop it, or whatever you want to do. But you probably already heard it during this video, or you, if you haven't yet, then there it is. The Texture of Decisive Battle, that's what it's called. So for you, when you're doing your research of the tracks,
it's in my liked videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I love that track so much. Every time it came on, I got
you
super hyped.
Yep.
And there's another one that there's actually like during the battle.
Yes, I have that one saved
really
as well.
Good
That's super
too.
good.
I don't have it on my phone.
It always reminds you of him doing souffles.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The songs, the soundtrack of this anime gets you so hyped somehow. They do a really, really good job.
They've done an amazing job.
Yeah.
Great animation.
It's JC staff have done so well.
Phenomenal work with this anime.
So,
like
some
crazy.
people say that the anime is better than the manga.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's super well done. And
the food is so detailed.
Yes.
Your mouth is watering. You're like,
all the time. I want this now.
Yeah.
It's so good. It looks really, really good. They did a great job with it. I think it's part of the reason that people keep coming back, and it's one of the most anticipated and top anime every time it comes out during a season.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it's a seasonal anime for that given season, people are it's hype train. Max, it's 100%.
For sure.
If you guys want to watch a more detailed video on as to why people love Food Wars so much, I do recommend going to check out Mother's Basement. He did a video on it. We have to look. He's shaking his head right now at me. We have to get people into the anime scene
away from our channel.
Yeah, well, he has good content too. He did 2 very good videos on it. Actually, I think it might have just been 1, but he does mention the female cast as well. It covers a lot of the same points that we did. Does a really good job.
So we're Steelers.
No, we're just we grabbed inspiration, but
you did.
Yeah, a little bit. Was there anything else that we wanted to cover? But definitely go and check out that video if you want to.
No, I think we're good for now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna cover the rest in the next video.
Yeah.
I don't know how many weeks you want to put these apart from each other.
It'll be next week.
Okay, we'll see.
You won't have that long to wait.
All right, so it'll be next week. You guys will get part 2 of Food Wars. We're gonna cover season 3 and season 4.
Third plate and
how we felt and how we reacted to a lot of big moments in the series. So definitely be looking out.
This is your time to catch up.
That's it.
It's not a very long anime.
Yeah.
40 episodes. Watch 10 a day.
That's it. We're probably going to keep the next episode about the same length, if not a little shorter, because we're not going to be talking about all the extra, the fat.
We're just going to get in the nitty gritty
of what happened in the 2 seasons, and that's pretty much all we're going to cover. But yeah, guys, as usual, thank you for watching. If you guys do like Food Wars, if you like us, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know what you thought of the series in the comments. We always love reading your comments. We get very few, but when we do, it makes us really happy. And we love responding to them. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely do all of that stuff that I just said, and we'll see you next week on the next episode.
You're welcome.
Catch you later.